You've tuned into another edition of The Break Room, a weekly conversation about how the City of St. Augustine works from those who do the work every day. Hosted by the City of St. Augustine's Communications Director, Melissa Wissel, The Break Room offers a closer look at the different city departments and provides updates on current and upcoming projects and events. And now, your host, Melissa Wissel.
Welcome to The Break Room. Thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Wissel, Communications Director for the City of St. Augustine. This week is a bittersweet conversation and one that I like to refer to as a fair welcome. It's an episode where we bid farewell to one staff member and at the same time welcome the person who's taking their place. So this week we welcome retiring Harbormaster Sam Adukiewicz in studio with his successor, Eric Mauldin, who is currently the facilities technician at the City Marina. Gentlemen, welcome to The Break Room.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Sam, we've had you on before. This is, like I said, our fair welcome. We're bidding you a farewell. You've been with the city now a little over 15 years. I can imagine the marina looks a little different today than it did when you started. You have any things to share with us about what you've seen over the years?
Well, first let me say it's it's been an honor to have been selected and worked as the city's first harbor master. And you're right, when I did start here, things looked a lot different. If any of you are from St. Augustine or been in the area, you can remember seeing boats sunk north of the bridge. There would be boats sunk south of the bridge. There were boats all over Salt Run that were sunk or either derelict. One of the most important things we did was to develop a harbor management plan. As part of that plan, we were able to manage the growth. We were able to manage the organization of the waterways. And it also enabled us to put in mooring fields. And as part of putting in the mooring fields, we put in about 150, but right now we operate 115 moorings located north of the bridge, south of the Bridge Alliance, and in Salt Run. So that's been able to do two things. It's really helped clean up the waterways and help us to manage anchoring areas and whatnot. So that.
And do you see a lot more transient boaters than seasonal, or I know we have resident discounts that are long-term for people who want to come and keep their boats at the marina long-term. So what do you see in terms of transient versus long-term stays with our boaters? First
of all, what the moorings do is they provide a safer alternative for our transient customers. Back before the mooring fields, the boaters didn't have any alternative but to anchor out. And if you're familiar with our waters and our proximity to the inlet, we have a lot of current. Yeah. And that current can be dangerous when the boat's left overnight. It can drag anchor, or even if the people are on board their boat, they go to sleep and the boat's in one location and they wake up, it's in another location. Right. And that's very dangerous. So what the mooring's done is provided that safe alternative at a very reasonable price. For example, the price of a mooring overnight, just one night, is about $25. But that also provides you dinghy dockage at the main dock. It provides you tender service to and from the marina. It provides a free pump out at your mooring ball. It also provides you all the access you need on all of our shoreside amenities like private showers, laundry facility, boaters lounge, and plus you're right at the doorstep to the city, which everybody wants to come and see. And in addition, the mooring fields added a longer duration of stay for our customers. Used to be boaters would stay a day, maybe 2 days at the most because of the conditions, especially if they were at anchor. And now they're staying 2, 3, 4 days. And in some cases, they like the city so much, they'll come off a mooring ball, go to a slip for a few weeks or even a month or two, and then have the option of going back to a mooring, whatever suits them financially or otherwise.
The marina down there, Sam, of course, you and I and Eric, I got my start at the marina. Yeah. It's a beautiful facility. As you said, very reasonably priced, and people do really love to come and stay. The lifestyle of boating in terms of transient versus long-term, have you seen sort of shifts in boating as a lifestyle over the years of how people boat? Or
I've seen a change in the, especially in our marina and in our local waterways, a change in the type of boats, the quality of boats. And a lot of that is also due to the marinas. We have some rules and regulations, and this is also part of the harbor management plan. And operating the moorings, that boats have to have insurance. They have to have a working marine sanitation device. They have to have a good registration. The boat has to be seaworthy, and it has to be able to operate under its own power. If you have those 5 things, we welcome you. We would love to have you. And that typically says you're a responsible boater. So we have a lot more what I consider responsible boaters now than maybe we did in the past.
And I can call, just talking real quick about the boating as a lifestyle here in St. Augustine. When our weather is beautiful, people are out and about. They hop on their boats in the morning. They come into town. Can I get a slip? Can I come in hourly?
Sure,
Do I have to stay
of course,
overnight?
Yeah. It's a first come, first serve. Contact the Marina office at our main number, and you can find that online at staugustinemarina.com. But yeah, for the most part, during the year, we have plenty of hourly dockage. However, on 4th of July, New Year's Eve, any of those kind of holidays, which you would expect us to be full, we probably are. Right. And at that point, it's first come, first serve. But otherwise, we'd love to have you.
If you're just now tuning in, you are listening to The Break Room. I'm Melissa Whistle, Communications Director for the City of St. Augustine. Today, we're having a fair welcome episode, bidding farewell to retiring Harbormaster Sam Adukiewicz and welcoming Eric Mauldin. Eric, you are currently our facilities technician, but you will be stepping into those shoes of Sam's.
Yes, I will. Big shoes at that.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Again, you and I also worked at the Marina together. And what a great opportunity for you. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
Tell me about, tell our listeners a little bit about you. You've been at the Marina for many years too.
Yes. I started over 10 years ago as a part-time Marina attendant, and that position kind of came about because the mooring fields were new. It was only about 6 months prior to that they started operating the mooring fields, so needed some more staff, and I applied, got the job, and worked part-time, and then a full-time position came about and moved up. Also, along with the captain's license that I held throughout all of that, started using that to run the pump-out boat and the launch boat. That's part of one of our amenities to the mooring field, is to provide that service. And that kind of allowed me to see a lot of how the moorings are run, how the dock is run, kind of a little bit different perspective than just working on the dock. You're getting out on the boat and interacting with the people on the moorings. And a few years of that, about 2016, our maintenance technician at the time was retiring, Mr. Snowman, and worked closely with him for those prior years, and kind of jumped right into it. I kind of always involved myself with all of his projects and always was willing to learn more about the Marina and kind of the nuts and bolts of it, how it's all held together, and learning those processes and how to maintain it. And once I stepped into that role, it was a lot to take care of. There's a lot, three docks, 3 mooring fields. Now we have 3 marina boats, and all that is a lot of maintenance to take care of. And but I enjoyed it. It was a great challenge, and still enjoy it. Still
really gives you an overview of more than just the boats coming and going, but truly the facilities maintenance.
Yeah. And when boats come in, there's a lot to when they go to connect to their water, connect to their shore power, a lot of things that they don't know happens prior to that, to make sure all those amenities are available for them when they arrive.
In terms of repairs and maintenance, talk a little bit, if you could, about how the Marina is doing in all of the recovery from the hurricanes and the storms.
Yeah, the Marina now is in excellent shape. I'd say the best it has been in decades. I mean, our docks were close to 20 years old in some areas, and the hurricanes are a very tough thing to go through, as everyone knows, and it's a long process, a long rebuild process, but you learn a lot from it, and you kind of take from the storm of what it damaged and see where you can improve and make the Marina a little more resilient than it was before. And that's the good part about the hurricanes, if there is a silver lining to them. But you can adapt to those conditions and make things a little bit better in the docks.
Do you see people are getting smarter about how they're securing their boats as well? Like, we're becoming somewhat seasoned?
Yeah, I think it kind of opened people's eyes the past few storms and hurricane seasons that, where in the past we would have quite a bit of boats stay in the marinas or on the moorings, and then after that first storm and the second storm, it was kind of a ghost town. Everybody hauled their boats out as they should, get in protected waters, and the marina is very susceptible to severe weather with our proximity to the inlet.
The breakwater dock there is relatively new in terms of the life of the marina itself. That also makes a big difference, even just in the day-to-day weather that we see.
Yes, yeah. As over the weekend, the almost the 3-day nor'easter that we had, it protects a lot of the marina to where we never had that protection before. I believe it was about 2012, 2013 that that dock got put in, and it has been worth every bit. It's a great dock.
And speaking about the marina facilities itself, we've got the docks, like you say, the mooring balls. We also have a construction project going on that's right there near the back entrance, if you will, behind the fuel dock, what used to be the Santa Maria. Can you guys give us any kind of update on that? I know it's not our project, but it impacts you as the marina.
Sure. The work that's going on there right now is, if anybody doesn't know, they're building a new Santa Maria type restaurant that was there before, although it'll be updated, new designs, new management, new ownership. But we work closely with the construction crew on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, to do whatever we can to help them complete the job. You know, we just want them to get done as soon as they can and kind of move out of our way. But we're excited to have them as a neighbor. I think that whole facility will be a plus.
And there's other things other than just transient boaters. There are other tenants down in the marina as well, businesses that operate out of our marina. Are those folks staying? They've been down there for a while.
Yeah, all the plans are right now is for them to stay. I think that the current occupants are going to do the best they can to work with whatever ends up being there, as far as the dock that will be heading out east, that heads out east from the southeast corner of the main building. But I think all of that will be workable with the existing customer base.
Eric, stepping into Sam's shoes, if you will, like you said, you guys have been working together for a really long time. What are the things that you're seeing that you're really looking forward to in terms of this transition, just of being able to step into that role?
Yeah, I think it'll be a very smooth transition. Sam and I are very much alike, and working closely with him, I've seen the ways that he handles processes and issues that arise in the marina on a daily basis. And I've worked closely with him on some of those, and just hope to do as well of a job that he has continued to do and done such a great job at being the Harbormaster. I just hope to continue that on.
I'm sure that you will. There are other things that I don't know that people think about too that I'm sure you're learning. Things like the grant money and funding. The marina is an enterprise fund with the city, so it has its own unique way that it even operates.
Right. The municipal marina operates as an enterprise fund, which means we operate like our own business. We don't rely on tax dollars to operate, so it's real important to us to be profitable. We don't want to be a burden on the city from a financial standpoint, but there are times that we are able to take advantage of the strength of the city, whether it's money through bonds or whether we work with the city with FEMA for hurricane recovery, or we work with our grant department, our grant administrator, Corey, who does an excellent job working with grants. But we also do some grants on our own as well. For example, working with the DEP and the Clean Vessel Act, for example, purchasing real soon a new pump-out boat. Our current pump-out boat is over 10 years old. It's getting pretty rough. It does the job great,
right,
but we're there, and we need a new one. And Eric and I've worked with him briefly on that already, on how to accomplish and get that grant done so that we can get that new boat, which is very important for our waterways. And speaking of that real quick, I talked about the mooring field earlier, and I just want the public to also to know that in the last 10 years, the mooring field has produced over $2.3 million in revenue.
Wow. Just
the moorings. So we're proud of that, and we're proud that because of that and the dockage and everything else that we are able to sell at the marina and produce for our customers, is that we are successful. We're not a burden on the city, and we hope to continue to be that way.
It's a very good product and service that you have down there. I'm very proud to say that that's where I got my start with the city. Well, guys, we've run out of time. Eric, we'll have you back again sometime.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Giving us an update as things evolve as you step in. Sam, congratulations and happy retirement.
Thank you. I'm not sure how I'm going to turn the switch off as far as my day-to-day life coming up here soon, and I'm sure other people have been through that too. But let me say, as an accomplishment that I have here would be probably one of my biggest ones was to hire Melissa, who's here, and also hire Eric, who is now taking over as Harbormaster. Melissa is now the Director of Communications. And look where they started. Great things come from the marina.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
That. As we wrap up another edition of The Break Room, I hope we answered your questions. If we didn't, take a minute to drop an email to info@citysanog.com. Let me know if there's someone you would like to hear from. We'll make sure to get them on the program. We want to keep you informed about what's happening in and around the city and that you hear it here from the people doing the work and making it happen every day. Remember, in order to stay connected, you need to be connected. Follow us on our social media platforms. You'll see us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City St. Aug. And you can also find the Marina on Facebook and Instagram at City St. Aug Marina. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.
You've been listening to The Break Room, a weekly program addressing projects and programs offered by the City of St. Augustine. Join us each week as the city's communications director, Melissa Wissel, has in-depth conversations with the people who make our town work to meet the needs of our community. The Break Room is produced by communications specialist for the City of St. Augustine, Cindy Walker, and engineered by Flagler College communication major, Lily McNeil. See you at this time next week for another edition of The Break Room.